Hey, John, set up the studio.
Video day. Oh, I'll stretch. All right, here we go. Move. Climb. Oh, it's really high up here. Superhero landing. Geronimo. All right, dude. Studio's ready. Welcome back to Adam's Acoustic Arsenal. Today, we're going to talk about this Blueridge BR263 that I bought last weekend. And I'm going to give you some ideas on what it actually means when they say Rosewood is scooped and Mahogany is more balanced. Because I found when I got this guitar that there is a very specific thing that happened to me that made this concept really come to life. So, stay tuned. Alright, so we're going to talk about this Blueridge BR263. Now, I was in Nashville last weekend. I went guitar shopping. I didn't have the luck that I thought I would have at the shops in town. But at the end of my trip, I found this guitar on Facebook. And frankly, it's really, really nice. I've really enjoyed it. It's a wonderful guitar. There are a couple of things that I touched on in the other video. It does have a crack right here, basically from bridge to the end. It's a pretty good size crack. It's definitely noticeable. And then I didn't see this one initially, but there is a crack right about here that is probably 4 inches long. They both need to be addressed. I'm going to have them both looked at. Probably have this one cleated. This one on the back, we'll see. It's not nearly as wide as the one on the top. But regardless, I got it for a great price. These guitars, the map price is like $3,000. They usually go on the street for $22 to $23. I got it for way less than half of that. It's not a guitar that I'm going to flip. I don't know that I'm going to keep it forever. But here's the thing that happened. My wife really likes this guitar, which is odd because most of the time she says that they all look the same. Whenever I get a new guitar, she goes, it looks like all the others. She's right. But for some reason, she really likes the way that this one sounds. And she's not wrong. For some reason, it sounds even better in this little studio that I have than it has anywhere else. The first day that I had it, I was kind of bummed out because the guy didn't tell me that it had a crack, and I found out that it had a crack. But I'm good now. I made a couple of adjustments to the truss rod. The neck is straight as an arrow. It had more relief than it needed, so the action was a little bit high. Either way, this Blueridge, I've got to give it to him. It's a great guitar. It really is. The Rosewood, Brazilian Rosewood is beautiful. I'll show some pictures of it. It's just a really pretty guitar. And it sounds great. It feels great. It feels like a high-end guitar, except for one thing. And if you've ever played a Blueridge guitar, you know that this is how they all are. It's got a polyurethane finish. Now, I have a Martin down here that I'm going to show you the comparison when I get to the Rosewood piece. But it's got a polyurethane finish. And it looks great. It's not as thick as some I've seen. The Recording King that I have that I'm going to give away, it's not as thick as that finish, but that guitar is a fifth of the price. But it is a polyurethane finish. And if I could do one thing to it, I would strip it down and basically just do like an true oil open pore finish with 7 or 8 coats of that, and let it really, really sing. Because it does have a torrefied top. It is Brazilian rosewood. I think if you could refinish this body, which in collecting guitars is the most terrible thing in the world to do, but for a guitar like this, I really think that if you refinished it, it would sound unbelievable. So probably not going to happen, but if it does, I'll share. I've had the idea in my brain. The other thing I want to talk to you about is I've heard for years and years and years that rosewood is middle scooped and mahogany is even and walnut is this and blackwood is this. We're going to talk about mahogany and rosewood today. I have never really been able to hear it super plainly when I listen to a D28, for example, and a D18. Is there a difference? Sure. When I play them, the difference to me is usually a resonance thing. It's the way that it feels under my fingers. Like a lot of people talk about electric pickups, and through a tube amp, the way that they feel kind of gives you the sense of how they sound. And I think that that's true for acoustics as well. And that's usually goes to a resonance thing. And I'll do some comparisons side by side, but this sounds really, really round and warm, and I wouldn't say soft because it's not a soft sound, but it's just kind of comforting is how I would picture. I would try to convey this sound to you. And the Mahogany D18 that I have is just super punchy, and that's usually the descriptor that you hear. Mahogany is punchy and it cuts through the mix because it's got that nice beefy mid-range. Again, I think that's true. But there's a specific example that happened when I was playing this guitar over the weekend where it was just unbelievably clear to me, oh my gosh, there's the Rosewood scoop. Because if you've listened to any of the videos before, you know that I kind of have a mid-range baritone voice. I'm also not a great singer, mostly because I can't hear the notes to hit them with my voice. It's taken me a really long time to get to where I can sing on pitch some of the time. And that's part of the reason I fell in love with the Singer Mahogany is I could hear it and I could match it, and so I could sing with that guitar better than any guitar I've ever had. Well, when I was playing this one, I was playing one of my original songs that I wrote on the Singer Mahogany, and it's capoed up at 5. I have this one at 6 because I've got this tuned down a little bit, and I'll tell you that in just a second. But I was playing that song, and I got to a transition from a G to an A minor, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the pitch to sing with it, and it was off. And I did it again, and I did it again, and then I moved the capo, and I did it again, and I still couldn't hit it. And the thought occurred to me, because it's scooped, and that's a mid-range sound that you want to hit, and you can't hear it because it's not quite it's prominent. It's not really there to your ear, and that was the experience that I had. So I wanted to share that with you, and I'm going to sing just the first couple lines of that song and show you what it sounds like on this guitar compared to that guitar. And I promise I'm not setting this up. I'm just not good enough to hit it on this guitar. Eyes fall down like quarter-inch snowflakes. The flutter of my heart seals the deal. See, right there on the second line. All right, I'm gonna go to the dreadnought. It's weird because I feel lost when I make that change, and it happens in like a fraction of a second, but it just throws you off. Fall down like quarter-inch snowflakes. The flutter of my heart seals the deal. See, it was just smoother because it's more mid-rangey. Shocker, it's mahogany, it's mid-rangey. And I knew that. I've always known that. But to me, usually, unless you're listening in studio headphones or on studio monitors, it's hard to tell the difference. Now, part of that is most of the time when you're looking for it, it's in a mix and somebody has mastered it and they've done it really well. So that makes sense. But at the end of the day, it's just a strange feeling to be playing a Rosewood guitar, thinking you're going to hit a line, and then that frequency not be there, and you not find it. Now, I've gotten a little bit better at it, but it was the practical example of the difference between Rosewood and Mahogany. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. This Blueridge BR263 is really something special. It's really fun to play. It's considerably heavier than I expected because Rosewood is heavier in general, but I think the poly finish has something to do with that. The demo that you're hearing in this video is an SM57, a Blue Yeti, and an LR Baggs VTC undersaddle pickup that came with it. I've blended all those together to give you that sound, and I'll mark some points off where you're just hearing certain parts of it. But I don't know what the fate of this guitar will be. I do know it's going to stick around for a while because my wife likes it, and, you know, she's not a big guitar junkie, so when she says she likes a guitar, I'm going to stick with it. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the polyurethane finish and if I should strip it or not worry about it, and we'll see what happens. Have a great day.